The plotter's timeline. First, there is a plot, a death plot against the messenger. 2. The messenger and his most trusted and faithful believers are aware of the plot. 3. The messenger warns of a pernicious, unparalleled hypocrite waiting in the wings. 4. The messenger is able to block or restrain the plotters until his 40-year mission is complete. 5. As the messenger's mission nears its completion, the plotters close in. 6. The messenger is taken or removed by Farad just ahead of the plotters' strike. 7. The plotters strike, scattering the believers. The NOI collapses as the plotters tears it down. 8. Then the hypocrite is revealed, the son of perdition, a chief plotter. 9. The chief plotter claims the messenger, claims to be in communication with the messenger. 10. The plotter is a deceiver who will claim to be God, claim to be the Christ, claim to be Jesus. 11. The plotter will claim that his reign represents the time of the Christ. 12. The plotter called, I quote, the mouth, end quote, by the prophet Daniel will deceive and overcome the NOI. 13. The plotter will be able to produce strong signs to support his deception. 14. The plotter will be uprooted and overthrown by the true Christ at the end of the plotter's 40-year reign. The mouth made war with the saints. It's a mouth, so its weapon is its mouth, which is lies, deception, falsehood. The saints are clearly the NOI. The mouth would have control of the NOI until the end, when the Ancient of Days appeared and the beast, symbolic of America, is destroyed. No matter how you spin it, it comes up the same. The NOI has been compromised and defeated. What is the strategy of the mouth? What makes the saints the saints? The saints are those raised by the messenger. The wisdom and teachings of the messenger is what makes the saints the saints. The mouth goes right to the heart of it. The messenger taught that we are, quote, the original beings, maker, owner, cream of the planet Earth, God of the universe, unquote, which means we are in control of and responsible for all aspects of our lives and the universe. The message from the mouth is contrary. We have control of nothing, not our lives, not our longevity, not the creation of our children, not even if we wake up in the morning. There is some mystery God in control. We control nothing, only signing checks to the mouth and producing for him. That's his strategy. Attack the very essence of the messenger's message. Change, quote, be and it is, unquote, to inshallah. That's the message the mouth claims that the Jews wanted. The Sunni message, not Elijah's message. These, quote, our gathering together unto him, end quote, are the elect, those remaining true to Elijah/Moses, doing Aaron's betrayal. They expect to be reunited with the Son of Man at his appearance. This verse lets you know who is speaking, either the faithful believers or the messenger himself. The messenger is speaking, warning of a hypocrite worse than Malcolm, who would appear after him. Quote, when I was yet with you, end quote. This eliminates Malcolm, as Malcolm was during Elijah's presence. There was a secret plot against the messenger already taking place before the messenger left, before he was taken or removed by Farad. But the messenger was blocking it, holding it back, preventing the plotters from successfully carrying out their plot. The true believers are warning that a plot is in the making, and it is only the presence of the messenger who is holding it back. The messenger was blocking the plot, holding it back. The messenger knew of the plot, but prevented it until his 40-year mission was complete as prophesied. There would be 40 years of day prophesied for Moses/Elijah, and 40 years of night prophesied for Aaron/Farrakhan. 40 years of darkness, betrayal. 40 years of leading the people astray. The true believers are referring to the prophecy of the 40 years in the wilderness with Aaron during Moses' absence.
And he said he would be away. The people doubted. And they immediately went to carve an image in the golden calf. See, the test was the absence of Moses. And you just think the people witnessed all the wonders, all the miracles. They witnessed the hand of God displayed through Moses that delivered them out of Egypt. They saw all of the plagues. They saw the Red Sea open up for them. And they saw the God of Moses destroy Pharaoh and his army. But yet, they turned back on their heels in his absence. Satan is wise. He's the God of his word. So he's patient. He's looking at time and circumstances. He cannot really do what he wants to do as long as the presence of God's servant is present among the people. Yet he will do something. But the real test of the people is in the absence of the man of God. I'm going to put a pin in this for now. And maybe if it be the will of Allah, I can come back and we can talk more on this topic.
The messenger allowed the plotters to plot, but prevented them from executing their plot until his 40-year mission was complete. The plotters were praising the messenger to his face while plotting against him behind his back. The messenger is taken by Farad. Quote, Enoch didn't die, the Lord took him, end quote. Enoch is Elijah. Elias is requesting a double portion of Elijah's spirit, which he is promised if he witnesses Elijah's ascension. He doesn't witness Elijah's departure and questions the existence of Farad, saying, quote, where is the God of Elijah, end quote. The believers are warning of a death plot against the messenger. The departure of Elijah leaves Farrakhan in charge. Once the messenger was taken out of the way by Farad, the plotters came forward. They revealed themselves. They wasted no time in denouncing the messenger. Farrakhan was foremost along with Wallace. They immediately began tearing down and dismantling the Nation of Islam. The NOI didn't fall, they tore it down. They burned up all of the messenger's documents and literature. They discarded the Nation of Islam's flag and name. They renamed themselves the Bilalians. Jonah is presently consuming Farrakhan daily with his mouth, his testimony, the scriptures, revealing the AL-INJIL. There is not one scripture in either the Bible or Quran favorable of Aaron or anyone who succeeded Moses/Elijah. This is Jonah, having been coerced to go to Nineveh, the NOI, and preach that its destruction would occur 2016, 40 years/days after Elijah's departure. Suleiman is shining the light of the scriptures on Farrakhan. Soon the Son of Man, Ancient of Days, will take his seat, casting out Farrakhan and all his lying devils with him. Elijah departs. The NOI is torn apart. Virtually everyone turned/fell away from the messenger. Then the plotters revealed themselves. They first circled around the chief plotter, Wallace, but gravitated to Farrakhan, the main co-conspirator, co-plotter. Immediately following Elijah's sudden and unexpected departure, the conspirators cast down the NOI, dividing up his wealth among them. Farrakhan, the main co-conspirator, is used by Wallace to further the aims of the messenger's family. Once they have broken, cast down, and buried the NOI with Farrakhan's help, they cast Farrakhan aside. After plotting against and betraying the messenger, being turned out by Wallace, Farrakhan runs back to Master, but Master has no love for him. Broke, busted, rejected, he crawls back to the ashes of the NOI that he helped to destroy. He has spent the last 40 years living off the believers while producing nothing. The son of perdition, meaning one destined for destruction, will exalt himself, declaring himself a god. Farrakhan often and repeatedly lifts himself up, claiming to be a god or perhaps the god. He has cast himself as the Son of Man, Jesus, and the Christ, the Anointed, and a God, all of which he is not. Quote, who opposes and exalteth himself above all that is called God or that is worshipped.
am God.
The hypocrite, the plotter, the betrayer will hide behind Elijah's name. He will claim to be representing the messenger. He will claim to be in communication with the messenger and that he is the Christ to come, the long-awaited Messiah. We are told that he is not the Christ, that the time of the Christ is not yet, not until the 40 years of Elijah and the 40 years of Aaron are fulfilled. In other words, he is not the Christ. The Christ will succeed him, come after him, destroy him. The Christ will consume him with his mouth and destroy him with the brightness of his coming. Farrakhan/Aaron would produce and manufacture signs and proclaim them as evidence of his anointment, of his Christhood. His deception is so thorough that when Jonah comes to Nineveh, which is the NOI, to shine his light on them, they closed their eyes. They preferred Farrakhan's deception to the light of Suleiman, which could have saved them from the imminent evil, the time of unprecedented trouble. Those who are seduced by Farrakhan/Aaron will ignore all the signs. They will reject all the clear signs of the liar. Quote, the only sign given to them, this wicked generation, is the sign of Jonah, end quote, because that's the only sign they will focus on to the exclusion of all the numerous signs of the son of perdition's identity and mission. Quote, he said Nineveh would be destroyed 2016, 40 years after Elijah's departure, end quote. There is nothing good spoken of about Elijah's successor, be it Aaron or Elias. Aaron misled the people, and Elias rejected the existence of Farad. When given clear verses and prophecies, they say, as the anointed tells them, quote, prophecy is probability, end quote, which is a damnable lie told by those who are clearly damned. Prophecy is the will and word of Allah. Prophecy is not probability. If it were, then prophecy could be as probably wrong as probably right, which means that Allah doesn't know what he is talking about, and his word is not sure. His word is meaningless. Clearly, Farrakhan has to promote that lie or else have to contend with all the prophecies that reveal who he really is and his true agenda. This is referring to the Son of Man revealing the great light of the angel upon Nineveh, aka NOI, under Aaron, the son of perdition. This verse is in respect to the angel key. Death is symbolic of the Oriental nations. The NOI is in the shadow of death. The NOI is being shined on by the great light of the angel from Suleiman, aka Jonah. The darkness speaks to the NOI being represented by the black horse, black for darkness. Farrakhan/Aaron has brought nothing but humiliation, confusion, and ultimately death on all those who trusted, believed, and blindly followed him. Farrakhan/Aaron, the co-conspirator pretending to be with Elijah, secretly wants everything that Elijah has. He wants to control and be recognized by the Muslims and Christians. It's not about Islam, it's about him. He just wants to be worshipped, doesn't care by who. Like any entertainer who doesn't care who's in the audience, just cares that the stadium is full. The saints are the nation of Islam who are about to inherit the kingdom, but they are presently under the spell of the mouth. The mouth hates them. The mouth is at war with them, and they don't even know it. The mouth will have seduced them with his mouth. He's a good talker. According to the description of Elias, he's a musician. This, as the prophecy states, will continue until the Ancient of Days, the Son of Man, arrives and destroys the mouth. The mouth made war with the saints. It's a mouth, so its weapon is its mouth, which is lies, deception, falsehood. The saints are clearly the NOI. The mouth would have control of the NOI until the end, when the Ancient of Days appeared and the beast, symbolic of America, is destroyed. No matter how you spin it, it comes up the same. The NOI has been compromised and defeated. What is the strategy of the mouth? What makes the saints the saints? The saints are those raised by the messenger. The wisdom and teachings of the messenger is what makes the saints the saints. The mouth goes right to the heart of it. The messenger taught that we are, quote, the original beings, maker, owner, cream of the planet Earth, God of the universe, unquote, which means we are in control of and responsible for all aspects of our lives and the universe. The message from the mouth is contrary. We have control of nothing, not our lives, not our longevity, not the creation of our children, not even if we wake up in the morning. There is some mystery God in control. We control nothing, only signing checks to the mouth and producing for him. That's his strategy. Attack the very essence of the messenger's message. Change, quote, be and it is, unquote, to inshallah. That's the message the mouth claims that the Jews wanted. The Sunni message, not Elijah's message. The Ancient of Days, aka the Son of Man, comes, overturns, and casts down the laborers of the NOI. He, the Ancient of Days, takes control, opens up the books, and initiates the judgment. It will happen, though the hypocrites, idolaters, plotters, and disbelievers are adverse.